So you're planning a trip to Nashville, but are wanting to make sure that you're making the most of your experience. But with lots to see and do in the Music City, it's important to have an idea of what you want to do while visiting. And that's where I come in, because in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 things that you need to know before visiting Nashville. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. Up first here on the list is the distance from the airport to Nashville City Center. The closest airport to Nashville is the Nashville or BNA airport, and depending on traffic, it can be about a 12-minute drive to the Nashville City Center and a little bit under 10 miles. Before landing and getting into the Nashville airport, I highly recommend coordinating your transportation means ahead of time, but there is a wide variety of transportation means when it comes to getting to and from the Nashville airport. Of course, there's the typical taxi, Uber, Lyft that you can take, but depending on where you're going after you get out of the airport, there may be some public transportation means that you can take, such as buses, or if you are going back to your hotel or your resort, they may have shuttles that run you into and out of the city or to and from your resort, so just plan accordingly before you get to the airport. And going along with transportation, that takes us to item number 2 here on the list, which is how to get around Nashville. The great thing about Nashville is that a lot of the city's highlights are located in the city. And personally, when I visited, I thought it was a very easy and very walkable city. So I felt that with a day, I was able to definitely get in all that I wanted to see by walking around the city. However, if you aren't interested in walking or you are crunched on time and you want to make sure you can see as much as possible, there's definitely a lot of ways that you can get around. When in the city, there are bikes and scooters that are available for rent, and personally I think this is a great and fun way to get around and explore the city in a new way. By having those bikes or scooters, you can really have the day to yourself and plan accordingly based on what you're wanting to do, and you don't have to feel crunched or pressured because you have to rely on any other type of transportation. However, there are a lot of other highlights that are outside of the city limits, and so in that case, it's definitely more realistic to take a taxi, rent a car, or have a Lyft or Uber take you to your destination. Item number 3 here gets into those highlights of the city, and the first thing I want to make you aware of are all of the murals that are in Nashville. If you're interested in art or are just an Instagrammer or a blogger that loves getting photo shoots in front of fun places, Nashville is a great place that is decorated by lots of art murals. All of these murals are scattered throughout the town, but there is a really great place that you can go and see a lot of well-known murals. If you check out the Gulch in Nashville, that is an area where you can see a lot of the more well-known murals that are in Nashville. And here you can find probably the most well-known or the social media famous Nashville Gives You Wings mural, where there are 2 sets of butterfly wings or wings that you can pose and take a picture in front of. Now, the thing I will tell you about this mural is that lines can actually get pretty long to get a picture in front of it, so definitely plan accordingly when it comes to getting a picture with that mural. If it's something that you're wanting to do, definitely block out some time for it because the line can get pretty long. Now let's go ahead and get on into that Nashville cuisine that people talk about. Item number 4 here on the list is to let you know that you should come hungry to your meals. As I mentioned, when thinking about Nashville, good food is definitely something that comes to mind. When I first found out that I was going to visit Nashville myself, I had never been before, and so I asked people on social media what it is I should see and do when in Nashville. And surprisingly, I didn't get any responses on what attractions or museums I should visit. All of them were centered around what food places I should go to. No matter what you're interested in, there's definitely something for everyone whenever it comes to the cuisine in Nashville, but with that being said, good food comes with large portion sizes. The first restaurant that I went to when in Nashville, I was absolutely blown away with the amount of food that I actually got, so I definitely would recommend planning accordingly and coming hungry to your meals because you won't walk away hungry. But with great food options, it's nice to have a recommendation every once in a while, isn't it? So in item number 5 here, we are going to be talking about Jack's Barbecue and the Stillery. When visiting Nashville, Jack's Barbecue and the Stillery were 2 of my my favorite places that I was able to go to eat at. With Jack's Barbecue, of course, they have a wide variety of barbecue options available, and that is the one place that when I first went there, I was blown away by the portion size, so you definitely won't leave hungry. And it's nice because the restaurant is right on Broadway Street, so you can go ahead and have an awesome view, people watch a little bit while looking over Broadway Street and enjoying your barbecue. Then when thinking about the Stillery, their slogan is fine, shine, and good eats, and that was enough to get me in the door. There you can find some hot chicken, rustic pies, otherwise known as gourmet pizzas, and two-handed sandwiches. With item number 6 here on the list, I want to let you know that you should save space in your suitcase whenever visiting Nashville. Now, when going on a trip to a new place, did you really actually visit the new place if you didn't bring home a souvenir to remember your trip by? And I can guarantee when visiting Nashville, you're definitely going to find something that you're going to want to bring home to remember the experience. Whether it's a new pair of cowboy boots, a cowboy hat, or a poster from Hatch show print, you're definitely going to want to make sure that there's some room in your suitcase that you can bring home whatever souvenir it is that you choose from Nashville. Item number 7 here is maybe something that you already know about when thinking about Nashville, but Nashville has a very rich nightlife. When walking down Broadway Street, there's definitely going to be other people there with you, and there's also going to be other people that are maybe exploring the city. But as I mentioned, the vibe definitely does start to change as the sun goes down, the live music starts to come out, and the city definitely starts to come alive. This nightlife is mainly centered around Broadway Street, which is maybe something you might know about thinking about Nashville ahead of time, but all of the bars and restaurants that are on Broadway Street, they have some type of live music, which definitely makes for a lively atmosphere. So definitely expect for Broadway Street to get busier as the sun goes down. In the evening, it can get pretty busy on Broadway Street, especially during the summer times, I've heard. So just prepare yourself for that because you never know what might happen. Item number 8 here on the list is definitely geared towards more of the touristy things, and that is that there are a lot of paid experiences to do while visiting Nashville. Besides checking out Nashville's well-known cuisine and nightlife, there's definitely a lot of museums and attractions in the area that you can definitely go check out as well. When in Nashville, I didn't get to do a lot of these paid experiences, but as I mentioned, there's a lot to do in the area, and some of the things that really jumped out at me were the Country Music Hall of Fame, the Johnny Cash Museum, and the Frist Art Museum. Going along with that is item number 9 here on the list that I also didn't get to take advantage of a lot whenever I was in the area, and that is a lot of the historical places that are around Nashville. A lot has happened in Nashville over the years, and it has a very rich history, and I definitely recommend checking out some type of historical thing whenever you're in the area. Now, I have a couple of example places for you guys here on the list today, and some of the places are in downtown Nashville and some are also outside of the city limits. But when visiting Nashville, you can think about visiting the Ryman Auditorium, the Grand Ole Opry, the Parthenon, the Belle Meade Plantation, and President Jackson's Hermitage. And the last item here on the list is item number 10. This is for all of you Nashville visitors that might not be big into the city life and might want a little taste of nature, so I'm going to be sharing with you some nature options that are available when visiting Nashville. Not only outside of the city, but inside the city you can find some parks and nature places to visit. Just down the street from Broadway Street, you can find a pedestrian-only walking bridge that is called the John Siegenthaler Pedestrian Bridge. This is a great place to go and see a broad view picture of what Nashville City looks like, as well as a great opportunity to just go see another side of Nashville. One place I actually didn't know about until researching for this video is the Bicentennial Capitol Mall State Park located just outside of Nashville. If I were to visit Nashville again, this is definitely a place that I would like to visit. It definitely reminds me of Washington, D.C., and it looks like a very neat place to check out if you're in the area. Now, if you have some means of transportation that can take you far out of the city, just 20 minutes outside of Nashville, you will find Radnor Lake State Park, which looks like a great place to experience a little bit of Tennessee wilderness. Nashville is definitely a neat city, and there's something for everyone when visiting there, and it's definitely a place I recommend checking out. So there you go, that completes our list. There is a list of 10 things that you need to know before visiting Nashville. I hope this list was helpful for you and gives you a better idea of what to expect when visiting Nashville, and maybe helps you in your planning process if you are planning a trip upcoming to go to Nashville. Let me know in the comments below if there was an item on the list that surprised you or interests you. I'd be interested to hear what you have to say, and if there is any other highlight or thing that I should know about when visiting Nashville. But thanks so much for watching today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you are interested in keeping up with future family-friendly travel videos and things to know before visiting such and such place, definitely hit that subscribe button below, and I'd love to keep you posted when future videos go live. But thanks so much again for watching. I hope you guys have a great trip to Nashville, and we will see you guys in the next video. See you guys.